Indus Valley Civilization. What are the unique aspects? The Indus Valley Civilization is regarded as originator of the great Indian culture and civilization, and this is characterized by certain unique aspects. It is regarded as originator of the great Indian culture, originator of great Indian culture, and it is characterized by certain unique aspects. The first one is it is the only surviving civilization in the present world. All its contemporary civilizations like the Mesopotamian, Sumerian and Egyptian civilizations withered away, leaving their ruins, whereas Indus Valley civilization still continued to affect the Indian society in its customs, rituals, decorative habits and belief systems. Rituals, customs, decorative habits and its belief systems. In the other words, it has become a part and parcel of the human life in India, and as such it was called the source of Indian history. The second part, so it was the only civilization which developed systematically and chronologically from Neolithic to Copper Age and from there to Bronze Age. So it was the only civilization which developed systematically and chronologically from the Neolithic to Copper Age and then from there to Bronze Age. Then it was the most sophisticated and highly advanced of all the contemporary civilizations. Its almost unique aspect is the underground drainage system. So this is the third point, sophistically and highly advanced civilization, the underground drainage system. So it was the most well expanded and biggest cultural formation on the prehistoric times. The discovery of the civilization, it pushed back the history and antiquity of India to another 3000 years. This discovery of the civilization pushed back the history and antiquity of India to another 3000 years. The discovery of the civilization in 1921 made the world realize that India had a well developed civilization even before the advent of the Aryans around 1500 BC. Then it was the civilization which laid the foundation for peaceful coexistence of different races and tribes in India, leading to unity in diversity. So it foundation for a peaceful coexistence of different races and tribes in India, leading to unity in diversity. So the credit goes to the authors and architects of the civilization for giving the world for the first time and making the world realize the importance of sanitary conditions and to go for well planned cities. Origin of Indus Valley civilization. Where are the origins of Indus Valley civilization? The origins and the decline of this civilization still remains to be controversial, as the Indus Valley script has not been deciphered yet. So, and no Indus Valley site has fully been excavated so far. The text script has not been deciphered so far, and no Indus Valley site has been fully excavated so far. However, on the basis of available archaeological data, a hypothetical basis we can only be formulated, and we can only formulate an opinion. So on the basis of the available archaeological data, hypothetical basis, we can only formulate some opinion. So the first theory is, according to Laws Bella, the origins of Indus Valley may be traced to the remote village cultures. Origin of Indus Valley may be traced to the remote village cultures found in Baluchistan, that is northwest Quetta, Zod cultures, all these. All these are present there in today's land. So remote village cultures, this may be traced to the origins of Indus Valley may be traced to remote village cultures that are found in Balochistan. So this farming and pastoral cultures entered into the Sindh region, started the cultivation, and which in turn became the architects of the civilization. సో ఫస్ట్ ఏమో ఇక్కడ ఉన్న రిమోట్ విలేజ్ కల్చర్స్లో బలూచిస్తాన్లో ఇంకా పీపుల్ ఉన్నారు. సో అక్కడున్న ఫార్మింగ్ అండ్ పాస్టోరల్ కల్చర్స్, ద farming and pastoral cultures, they entered into the Sindh region. They started the cultivation, and which in turn they became the architects of the Indus Valley civilization. And ever చెప్పారు, లాస్ బెల్లా చెప్పారు. Supporting this theory, we find the pots manufacturing in the highly developed Harappan civilization bearing the signs just the same as that of the pottery of Balochistan cultures. Pots, Indus Valley civilization, highly developed Harappan civilization లో ఉన్న pots manufacturing ఏదైతే ఉందో, pots manufacturing in this Harappan civilizations, they have similar signs. వాటి మీద డ్రా చేసిన సైన్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా, they are just as that as the pottery of Balochistan cultures. The second theory is according to Carroll. First one was Laws Bella. Second theory is according to Carroll, Carral. Carroll. Indus Valley civilization was actually developed by people of Sindh. The first one says that the people of Balochistan. Second one says that it was actually developed by the people of Sindh and not that of Balochistan, because the essential elements of Harappan civilization, namely town planning, drainage system and well developed pottery, all this started first in the Sindh Valley. ఇవన్నీ ఫస్ట్ సింధ్ వ్యాలీలో స్టార్ట్ అయ్యాయి. అంటే ఏవి ద యునీక్ ఆస్పెక్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ ది హరప్పన్ సివిలైజేషన్స్ అనేవి టౌన్ ప్లానింగ్, డ్రైనేజ్ సిస్టమ్, వెల్ డెవలప్డ్ పాటరీ, ఆల్ దిస్ స్టార్టెడ్ ఇన్ ది సింధ్ వ్యాలీ ఫస్ట్. యాజ్ అ మ్యాటర్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్యాక్ట్, their early cities Amri and Kot Diji are located in Sindh. ఇందాక చూసాం కదా ప్రోటో హరప్పన్ సివిలైజేషన్స్ అని. ఆమ్రీ, సోతి, కోట్ డిజీ కల్చర్స్ ఆర్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ పోస్ట్ హరప్పన్ కల్చర్స్ అనేసి. సో Chalcolithically, so the cities of Amri and Kot Diji are located in Sindh. So they say that the origins of Indus Valley might be in the Sindh Valley. Then according to Broadwell, the Indus Valley civilization originated as a result of constant interaction between the cities and the villages. This is very, very important because most of them have approved this theory. This is a result of constant Indus Valley civilization originated as a result of constant interaction between the cities and villages. So it was entirely an indigenous development over a period of centuries. Indigenous development over a period of centuries. So then this is according to Broadwell. The fourth theory is according to Mortimer Wheeler. The Indus Valley civilization has its origins from the Mesopotamian civilization. It has its origins from Mesopotamian civilization. According to Wheeler, there are striking similarities between two civilizations with regarding to first one is construction of the fortified walls called the citadels, and the mother goddess of the Indus Valley, which is very similar to the goddess Esther worshipped by the Mesopotamians. So, and similarly Gilgamesh, the half man half lion shaped form, is worshipped by Indus people, who was actually a legendary hero of the Mesopotamians. So this was the theory of Mortimer. He says that their origin is from Mesopotamian civilization. So in this view of the above theories, though it is complicated in understanding the origin of Indus Valley civilization, majority historians agree that it was the result of constant interaction between the cities and villages and was thoroughly indigenous. What are the characteristic features of Indus Valley civilization? The civilization covered an area of around 1.3 million square kilometer. That was such a big area, 1.3 million square kilometer, and from Manda in Jammu and Kashmir on river Chenab was its northernmost boundary, and southernmost boundary is Daimabad in Maharashtra on river Pravara, Manda in Jammu and Kashmir on river Chenab, Daimabad in Maharashtra on river Pravara. Pravara is a tributary of river Godavari. Pravara. So these are the north and south, Manda and Daimabad. Easternmost site was Alamgirpur. Alamgirpur in Uttar Pradesh on river Hindon. Hindon is a tributary of river Yamuna. River Hindon, a tributary of river Yamuna. And westernmost site was Sutke Jendaro in Pakistan on river Dasht. It is a coastal site. Sutke Jendaro in Pakistan on river Dasht. It is a coastal site. The Indus Valley civilization covered parts where Punjab, Haryana, Sindh, Baluchistan, Gujarat, Rajasthan and parts of Uttar Pradesh. Contemporary civilizations of Indus Valley civilizations were Mesopotamian or Sumerian civilization, which was on river Tigris and river Euphrates. River Tigris and river Euphrates pioneer civilizations are Mesopotamian and Sumerian civilizations, and Egyptian civilization on the river Nile, and Chinese civilization on the river Huangho. This period was around, the period of Indus Valley civilization was around 2500 BC to 1750 BC. The other names of this civilization are Indus Valley civilization, as flourished along the Indus River and the Ghaggar-Hakra River. As it flourished along the Indus River and Ghaggar-Hakra River. And it is also called as Harappan civilization. It was named by John Marshall after the first discovered site, Harappa. Harappa was the first discovered site in the civilization. So John Marshall had named it as Harappan civilization. Then it is also called as Sindhu Saraswati or Sapta Sindhu. No, sorry, it is not Sapta Sindhu. It is Saraswati civilization named by John Marshall after the first discovered site, Harappa. And the other names are Bronze Age civilization and Proto-historic civilization. So Indus Valley civilization, Harappan civilization, Bronze Age civilization and Proto-historic civilization. On the basis of the script, a transitional period is developed called Proto-historic civilization. On the basis of the script, Proto-historic civilization has a script which is not deciphered. Okay, thus inscriptions of this civilization are pictographic and short. The inscriptions of this civilization are pictographic and they are short. And the script was on seals which were circular, square or rectangle in shape, and they were made of the statite rock. They were made of the statite rock. They were circular, they were square, they were rectangle. And Indus script is written in Bostrosphedon style. అంటే రైట్ నుంచి లెఫ్ట్కి రాసి మళ్ళీ కిందకి అటు నుంచి కిందకి రాసి మళ్ళీ లెఫ్ట్ నుంచి రైట్ రాసి మళ్ళీ కిందకి రాసి. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ రిటన్ ఇన్ దట్ స్టైల్. Indus script is written in Bostrosphedon style. Again, spreading are over 13 lakh square kilometer or 1.3 million square kilometer. The Indus Valley civilization is the largest civilization in the world. It is the largest civilization in the world. Races of Indus Valley civilization. The Indus Valley civilization races are Mongoliids, Alpinoids, Proto-Australites, Australia laga, Proto-Australites and Mediterranean. They are Mongoliids, Alpinoids, Proto-Australites and Mediterranean. Mediterraneans of South India are Dravidians. The Dravidian is the linguistic term. Mediterranean is the racial term. So Aryans belong to the race Nordic. Aryan is a linguistic term and Nordic is a racial term. Now you got it. Aryan is a linguistic term. The Aryans belong to the race of Nordic. So Nordic is a racial term. Dravidians is a linguistic term, and Mediterranean is the racial term. So the races of Indus Valley civilization are Mongolians, Alpinoids, Proto-Australites and Mediterraneans. Majority of the historians, they give the time period of the Indus Valley civilization as 2500 to 1750 BC. 2500 to 1750 BC. But Sir John Marshall had said it is 3250 to 2750, but it is not widely as accepted. Even carbon 4 dating had said that the Indus Valley civilization might be between 2350 to 1750 BC. So that is a mature stage of Indus Valley civilization. Mature stage of Indus Valley civilization is between 2200 to 2000 BC. The terms Indus Saraswati or Sindhu Saraswati civilization, Indus Saraswati or Sindhu Saraswati civilization are also used by some scholars for Indus Valley civilization. This is because a large number of sites are located on the banks of the Gagar Hakra river, which is identified by some scholars as the ancient Saraswati river mentioned in the Rig Veda. The ancient Saraswati river mentioned in the Rig Veda. Since the civilization was not confined to the valleys of the Indus or Gagar Hakra, the best option is to use the term Harappan civilization. This is based on the archaeological convention of naming a culture after the site where it is first identified. It is based on the archaeological convention of naming a culture after the site where it is first identified. In 1826, an Englishman, 1826 లోనే an Englishman called Charles Mason visited a village near Harappa in Sahiwal district of West Punjab, which is now in Pakistan. Sahiwal district of West Punjab, which is now in Pakistan. He was convinced that this must have been the very place where in the 4th century BC, lo, the Macedonian invader Alexander had defeated King Porus in the battle. So he had come to search that place. Who Charles Mason in 1826 in the Sahiwal district of Western Punjab, which is now in Pakistan. And then in 1831, after 5 years, Alexander Byrne, one of the English officer, also mentioned about Indus Valley civilization. Then in 1920, the railway lines were laid, and they found some of the evidences, and then Archaeological Survey of India with the chairman Sir John Marshall. Okay, then in 1920 again, Dayaram Sahni started excavations at the Harappa. Dayaram Sahni, my name is Dayaram Sahni, I am excavating at Harappa. And in 1921, R.D. Banerjee, Rakaldas Banerjee, R.D. Banerjee started excavating Mohenjo-daro. In 1920, Dayaram Sahni started excavating at Harappa. 1921, R.D. Banerjee, Rakaldas Banerjee started excavating Mohenjo-daro. Harappan civilizations, it was mentioned in the Rig Veda in 6th Mandalam. In Rig Veda in 6th Mandalam, it was mentioned as Hanupriya, Harupriya. It is Harupriya. Indra has destroyed the city of Harupia. Lord Indra has destroyed the city of Harupiam, and it is also called as Bronze Age civilization and Proto-historic civilization. So the first inverse of Dayaram Sahni. Another important thing is Harappan civilization. It is older to the Chalcolithic cultures. Some of them were parallel to Chalcolithic. The Harappan civilizations, they are older to Chalcolithic cultures, but they are very much advanced when compared to the Chalcolithic cultures. The salient features or the striking features, characteristic features of the Indus Valley civilization. First one, it is the town planning of the Indus Valley civilization. Town planning. Each city was divided into upper city and lower city, separated by a fortified wall. A fortified wall protected city is the citadel on the western side, meant for the upper and the aristocrat class. So each city was divided into upper city and lower city, and it was separated by a fortified wall. The fortified wall protected city is called a citadel, which was on the western side, and it is meant for the upper class or the aristocrat class. Only city which did not have the citadel was Chanhudaro. The city which did not have the citadel was Chanhudaro. The other city, Dolavira had three parts, that is upper, middle and lower parts of the city. The other city, Dolavira, had three parts, upper, middle and lower parts. So all the cities were built in the grid pattern. The city without the grid pattern is Banavali. Mostly all the cities were built on the grid pattern. The city which did not have the grid pattern was the Banavali in Haryana on the river Saraswati. On the river Saraswati, it was in river Haryana. The underground drainage system is the striking feature. The underground drainage is not found in Banavali. Again, the city without the grid pattern is Banavali. The city without underground drainage is also Banavali. And the city which had the doors and windows of the houses facing the main street was Lothal. Usually in Indus Valley civilization, the doors and windows of the houses were facing towards the side, not to the road, towards the road, but to the side or onto the other side, because they wanted privacy. But in Lothal, the doors and windows of the houses were facing the main street. Usage of burnt bricks was a remarkable feature of Harappa. Usage of burnt bricks to build the houses. Okay, and great bath served as a ritual bathing. It is served as ritual bathing, which was found in the upper citadel of Mohenjo-daro, and a large granary in Mohenjo-daro was found, and 6 granaries in Harappa. A large granary in Mohenjo-daro and 6 granaries in Harappa, and two-roomed barracks were found in Harappa, which possibly accommodated the laborers. Two-roomed barracks were found in Harappa, which possibly accommodated the laborers. The drainage system is another remarkable feature of the houses were made with burnt bricks with a dimension of 4:2:1, and the streets with drains were made first, and then the houses were built along with them. The Harappan culture was distinguished by its systematic town planning on the lines of the grid system. That is, streets and lanes were cutting across one another almost at right angles, so thus dividing the city into several rectangular blocks. The streets and lanes it was in grid system. Streets and lanes were cutting across each other at almost right angle, thus dividing the city into several rectangular blocks. Then streets varied from 1 feet in width to 34 feet in width. 1 feet to 34 feet in width. So at Mohenjo-daro, each lane had a public well. Each lane had a public well, and most of the right angles and thus dividing the city into several rectangular blocks. So important Harappan sites were divided into two parts, that is, a fortified settlement on the high mounts with mud bricks designated as the citadels, and the main residential areas to the west of it were called the lower towns. So the drainage system is a unique feature of the Indus Valley civilization. In almost all the cities, every big or small house had its own courtyard and bathroom. So water flowed from the house to the streets, which had the drains. The street drains were equipped with manholes which were 1 to 2 feet deep, covered with the bricks or stone slabs. The street drains were acquainted with the manholes, which were 1 to 2 feet deep, and they were covered with the bricks or stone slabs. The domestic architecture of the houses. There was a courtyard at the center with all the rooms around it. There was a courtyard at the center with all the rooms around it. There was no windows at the ground level. And the entry door was to the side of the house, not to the main street. Every house has its own bathroom. it has its own bathroom with the drains connected to the street drains. Some houses have staircases. They have staircases to reach the top or to reach onto the roof. Many houses had a well in a room which is used to go outside. And it is estimated that there are around 700 wells in Mohenjo-daro. So many houses had wells in a room where you can go outside, and there were estimated to have 700 wells in Mohenjo-daro. Now we learnt about houses. Now it is about citadel. The citadel, it was generally used for public purposes, including with warehouse, having the lower part with the bricks. Warehouse, there was a warehouse having the lower part with the bricks, and the upper part maybe of the wood which got decayed long ago. And the great bath, the citadel citadel was used for public purpose, and it had a warehouse, and it had the great bath. The great bath was a large rectangular tank in the courtyard surrounded by the corridors. It had corridors on the four sides, and there were two stairs in the north and south side to get into the bath. There were rooms on the three sides of the great bath. ఓకే, అది చెప్పారు కదా, దాని చుట్టూ ఒక కోర్ట్యార్డ్ ఉంది. ఇట్ ఈస్ సరౌండెడ్ బై కోర్ట్యార్డ్ అని, ఇన్ ద కోర్ట్యార్డ్ సరౌండెడ్ బై ది కారిడార్స్. ఓకే, ఆ కారిడార్స్లో ఇట్ హ్యాడ్ రూమ్స్ ఆన్ ది త్రీ సైడ్స్. ఇన్ దట్ కారిడార్స్ ఇట్ హ్యాడ్ rooms on the three sides, and it had a large well on the fourth side. Three sides it had the rooms, and on the fourth side it had a large well. Water from the tank flowed into the drain. ఆ గ్రేట్ బాత్లో నుంచి water అనేది it flowed into the drain. Across a lane to the north, it had a smaller building. In the north side, ఆ లేన్ కారిడార్ ఏదైతే ఉన్నామో లేన్ ఆ నార్త్ సైడ్లో దే హ్యాడ్ అ స్మాల్ బిల్డింగ్ విత్ 8 bathrooms and with a drain. It had 8 bathrooms, and that 8 bathrooms were connected to the drain, and 4 on the each side of the corridor. ఓకే, సో 8 bathrooms ఉన్నాయి. ఆ లేన్కి ఈచ్ సైడ్ 4 bathrooms ఉన్నాయి. టోటలీ 8 bathrooms ఉన్నాయి, and all of them were connected to the drain. It was on the north side. It was so well planned and constructed in those days. Harappan society was fairly egalitarian in spite of use of slave labor. Egalitarian means all are equal. Harappan society was fairly an egalitarian society in spite of use of slave labor. Society contains two important segments, that is social stratification and పొజిషన్ ఆఫ్ విమెన్. సోషల్ స్ట్రాటిఫికేషన్ అంటే ఎవరి తర్వాత నెక్స్ట్ ఎవరు, ఆ ఈ స్ట్రాటాస్ ఆఫ్ ది సొసైటీ అంటాం కదా. నెక్స్ట్ ఫస్ట్ పొజిషన్ ఎవరిది, వాళ్ళ నెక్స్ట్ పొజిషన్, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ సోషల్ స్ట్రాటిఫికేషన్. సొసైటీ కంటైన్స్ టూ ఇంపార్టెంట్ సెగ్మెంట్స్, దట్ ఈస్ సోషల్ స్ట్రాటిఫికేషన్ అండ్ ద పొజిషన్ ఆఫ్ విమెన్. ద ఇండస్ వ్యాలీ సొసైటీ had the class system. It had class system classification. It had class system classification than the caste system. It has class system classification. So it was based on the wealth associated. సో ఎవరికైతే ఎక్కువ డబ్బు ఉందో వాళ్ళు హైయర్ క్లాస్లో ఉండేవాళ్ళు. ఇట్ వాస్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ది వెల్త్ అసోసియేటెడ్. సో అకార్డింగ్ టు జాన్ మార్షల్, ద ఇండస్ వ్యాలీ సొసైటీ ఈజ్ ప్రైమర్లీ matriarchal society, that is mother being the head. So it was, according to John Marshall, it was predominantly a matriarchal society, as we find women being worshipped. All the contemporary cultures followed matriarchy. All the Indus Valley civilization, all the contemporary cultures followed the matriarchy, and it survived even after the decline of the Indus Valley civilization. The social classes were in the class system classification annam kada. Class system classification lo who were the social classes were the merchants, the peasants, the craftsmen and the working class. So there were the merchants, the peasants, the craftsmen and the working class. There was definitely no caste system, as it started only with the Aryans. Okay, then the urban life was the essential aspect. Urban life was the essential aspect of the civilization. Cities were uniformly planned with vertical and horizontal lanes in the model of a grid system. It was essential aspect. Cities were uniformly planned with vertical and horizontal lanes in the model of a grid system. Two-storied buildings were built with well-baked bricks. The two-story buildings built with well-baked bricks were found. Each house was well connected to the main drainage system. In fact, the underground drainage system is the unique aspect of the civilization. The underground drainage system is a unique aspect. The mud bricks and the kilned bricks and the dressed stone and wood of reach were used to build the houses. What were used? Mud bricks, kiln fired bricks, wood of reach and dressed stone which was found in the rocky areas were used to build the houses. Wheat and barley constituted their staple food. Wheat and barley constituted their staple food. In Sindh region, their staple food was wheat and barley. In Sindh, wheat and barley. In Punjab, it was wheat and barley. In Rajasthan, because it's very hot, akademo utti barley. In Rajasthan, it is only barley. And in Gujarat, it is rice and millets. Gujarat. In Gujarat, rice and millets different Gujarat lo. So Rangpur, Lothal and Surkotada in Gujarat, ఆ ప్లేసెస్లో ఏం దొరికింది? దే ఏట్ రైస్ అండ్ మిల్లెట్స్ ఇన్ గుజరాత్, రంగ్పూర్, లోథల్ అండ్ సుర్కోటాడా. So these people had a wide range of hobbies and pastimes. They dicing, bullfight, dice ఆడేవాళ్ళు, bull fighting and boat racing and fishing were mostly prominent. So famous ఉన్న హాబీస్ పాస్ట్ టైమ్స్ ఏవి? డైసింగ్, బుల్ ఫైటింగ్, boat racing and fishing were very prominent. They had given utmost importance for personal appearance. They give utmost importance to personal appearance and their dressing. Women wore the ornaments made of all the metals except iron. Very important. Except iron, they wore all ornaments made out of all other metals. So they imported perfumes and lipsticks from Greece. It might be Mesopotamian or the Sumerian civilization, I think this is. So they imported perfumes and lipsticks from Greece. Appatlone perfumes and lipsticks from Greece, and the metals they used were mostly gold and silver. So gold and silver were the metals they had used mostly. The burial system. With regarding the burial system, different types of practices were found. Cremation was the general pattern. Was cremation. However, in many instances the body was buried in the sitting posture with the head facing the north and south. So general practice was placing the dead body in north and south direction. Sometimes they had buried, the many instances body was buried in the sitting posture with the head facing to the north. The other practices were partial burial, ఎర్న్ బరియల్ అంటే పెద్ద పాట్లో బరీ చేయడం, పార్షియల్ బరియల్ అంటే వాళ్ళ లెగ్స్ చాప్ చేసేసి బరీ చేయడం, ఎర్న్ బరియల్ అండ్ ద లిస్ట్ బరియల్ ఇస్ బ్రిక్ చేంబర్డ్ బరియల్. ఇన్ సమ్ ఏరియాస్ some pits were made out of bricks which indicated the social differences, and in Harappan sites the dead were generally they were laid in pits. Some graves contained pottery and ornaments. Perhaps they believed in afterlife. So a form of classification anedi did exist in the Indus Valley civilization, as we found the gap between the houses of the rich and poor in the cities like Mohenjo-daro. There is some kind of classification. The Harappans had three different funeral practices, namely cremation, complete burial and exposing the dead to the wild animals and birds and then burying their remains. Exposing the dead to the dead body to the wild animals and birds and then burying the remains. These three are the different burials. Some other luxuries were: first category includes objects of daily use, that is querns. Objects of daily use were querns, pottery, needles, flesh rubbers, that is body scrubbers. Ivi luxury items are not ferns, pottery, needles, and the body scrubbers. Archaeologists assume luxurious objects which are rare and costly. They assume the luxurious objects which are rare and costly at those times, that is faience pots. Faience, FAIENCE, faience pots. They are made out of sand by mixing sand, silica, gum, and then they are fired. Mix the sand, silica, and gum, and then they are fired, and it is very precious because it was very difficult to make. So these were some of the luxuries that the Harappans had used. The subsistence strategies of the Indus Valley people. Subsistence strategies. Harappan people depended mostly on plants and animals for their food. Mostly depended on plants and animals for their food, including fish. They ate plants and animals. They used wooden plow, which was found in Kalibangan. Wooden plow was found in Kalibangan, and stone sickles for harvesting the plants. And also they used oxen. Were used for ploughing, and also oxen were used for ploughing. So agriculture కి ఏదైతే యూస్ చేశారు, వుడెన్ ప్లవ్ యూస్ చేశారు, స్టోన్ సిక్కల్స్ యూస్ చేశారు for harvesting the plant, and they used the oxen for ploughing the fields. The crops that were produced were wheat, barley, dates, peas, sesame, mustard, millets, and in Gujarat we found rice husks. We found in Lothal and Rangpur, and millets we found in Gujarat. Rice and millets in Gujarat and chadvam kada. Millets we found in Gujarat, and rice husks we found in Lothal and Rangpur. They were the first to produce cotton in the world, and sugarcane was not known to Indus people. So the evidence of canals has been found at the Harappan site of Shortugai in Afghanistan. The site name was Shortugai in Afghanistan. And their evidence of canals for use of agriculture, was found in Shortugai in Afghanistan. And also they used wells for irrigation. They used canals and wells. Canals was found in Shortugai in Afghanistan, and they had used wells for irrigation. And domestication of animals, they domesticated buffaloes, oxen, sheep, asses, goats, pigs, elephants, dogs, cats, etc. Elephants ని కూడా domesticate చేస్తారనమాట. And camel bones are reported at Kalibangan. At Kalibanganలో ఇందాక వుడెన్ ప్లవ్ చూసాం, and camel bones are also reported at Kalibangan. And remains of the horse remains were found from Surkotadalo. Remains of the horse was found. Surkotada, remains of horse. This is a continuation of the society of Indus Valley civilization. Horse was very rare. Okay, horse skeletons has been discovered only at Surkotada, and from the superficial level at Mohenjo-daro. Okay, a terracotta figurine of the horse has been found at Lothal. Surkotadalo the horse remains skeletons were found. Mohenjo-daro superficial level of horse was found, and a terracotta figurine of horse, and where was it found? It was found in Lothal. So horse was, but it was a bit rare. So Harappan pottery was generally wheel made. Wheel paina already apparki wheel discover చేసేసారు. So it was in the Paleolithic period. Wheel was discovered in Neolithic age. So ఆ తర్వాత pottery was generally wheel made, and also pottery was then painted red and black. వీళ్ళు కూడా రెడ్ అండ్ బ్లాక్గా పాటరీని పెయింట్ చేసేవాళ్ళు, పెయింటెడ్ రెడ్ అండ్ బ్లాక్. అండ్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్ వాస్ ఆల్సో incised and polychrome, and it was glazed polychrome, different colors, and it was incised. The Harappans were certainly, they were literate. Okay, as over 2500 inscribed seals, mostly made out of statite rock, has been discovered with a pictographic script. 2500 seals which were mostly made out of statite rock has been discovered with pictographic script. Seals were used for different purposes, for the exchange medium, and amulets were found, and family symbols were found. సీల్స్ వర్ యూస్ ఫర్ డిఫరెంట్ పర్పసెస్. దేనికి ఒకటేమో ఎక్స్చేంజ్ మీడియంకి చేసేవాళ్ళు, ఎక్స్చేంజ్ మీడియం దే వర్ యూజింగ్ ద సీల్స్ టు పుట్ ఇట్ ఆన్ ది ఆమ్యులెట్స్ యూజ్ చేసేవాళ్ళు తాయెత్తులు, టు పుట్ ఇట్ ఆన్ ద తాయెత్తులు, అండ్ దెన్ టు యూజ్ ఇట్ యాజ్ అ ఫ్యామిలీ సింబల్స్. they had the seals, three purposes: family symbols, amulets, and exchange medium. They used the seals. The Indus script is Bostros-Fedon style. The script remains undeciphered. Presence of various types of craftsmen and traders bear clear testimony to the social stratification, that is division of labor and occupational specialization in the Harappan society. Presence of various types of craftsmen and traders, it shows a clear testimony to the social stratification and division of labor and occupational specialization in the Harappan society. It was so great. Then continuing with the agriculture was the backbone of the civilization. The soil was very fertile due to the inundation in the river Indus and flooding of river Indus. The soil was very fertile due to the inundation in the river Indus and due to its flooding. No hoe or plowshare has been discovered. The Harappans probably used the wooden plowshare అంటే వుడెన్ ప్లవ్ యూస్ చేశారు, which was found in Kalibangan. The Indus people produced wheat, barley, peas, cotton, sesame. Sugarcane was not known to them. Cotton was first time produced by the Indus people. Rice husk has been discovered from two places, that is Lothal and Rangpur in Gujarat. Economy of Indus Valley civilization. So any economy must contain three components. That is agrarian, industrial, and trade and commerce. The agrarian agriculture consisted cultivation of wheat, barley, cotton, mustard, sesame, vegetables and fruits, sugarcane and pulses also. They were not known to Indus people. Rice was known but not very important. The evidence of plough was found in Kalibangan, and also it was found at Banavali in Haryana, where a terracotta replica of plough, అంటే క్లేతో చేసిన replica of plough was found. Wooden plowshare was found in Kalibangan. A terracotta replica was found in Banavali. So the furrows at Kalibangan, that is the marks made with plough on the field, was found. And Lothallo in the చూసాం terracotta image of the horse was found. Surkatoda in Gujaratlo skeleton remains of the horse also was found. Indus people, though there were structures used to store water, that is gabbar bunds or nalas, but channel or canal irrigation seems to have been absent. But there were structures used to store water, that is gabbar bunds. Indus Valley people had both short and long distance trade and also foreign trade. Okay, short and long distance trade unindi, and also they had and also foreign trade. So they used boats and bullock carts for transportation. Boats sea paina aithe long foreign trade ki boats, bullock carts for the land transportation. No use of metallic currency. There was no use of metallic currency, but they practiced barter system for exchange. No metallic currency, barter system for exchange. So they developed uniform system of weights and measures. Uniform system of weights and measures. Seals and sealings were used in trade as marks of ownership, meant to guarantee the quality of the product. Seals and sealings were used in trade as a mark of ownership, and which meant the guarantee of which meant to guarantee the product or the quality of the product. So mixed farming was practiced in the Harappan civilization, that is domestication of animals on the large scale, that is oxen, buffaloes, goats, sheep, pigs were there, and dogs and cats also were domesticated. Humped bull were favored, like the bull cult was there before that, and they kept asses and camels, which were used as beasts of burden. beasts of burden. So there was an evidence of horse in Sukhodara, Mohenjo-daro and Lothal, and Harappans were also known for elephants and rhinoceros. Elephants and rhinoceros, this is very important. They were also known as elephants, and they were well known of elephants. They were well known of elephants and rhinoceros. ఎకానమీలో ఇప్పుడు సీనియర్ సార్ నోట్స్ నుంచి in the economic activities agriculture played an important role. They had the knowledge of crop rotation. Wow, they had the knowledge of crop rotation. That's what it is said as mixed farming, crop rotation system. They had knowledge of crop rotation system and seasonal cultivation. They also did the seasonal cultivation. They also knew about seasonal cultivation, that is Kharif and Rabi. They cultivated almost all the crops except sugarcane and mostly pulses also. They were the first in the world to cultivate the cotton. So that is Mehergar is the oldest evidence of the cotton in the world. Mehergar is the oldest evidence of cotton in the world. They had the knowledge of all the irrigation systems like tanks, canals and lift irrigation. They had the knowledge of the all kinds of irrigation systems like tanks, canals and the lift irrigation. Indus Valley people used carts called ekkas, ekkas for transporting the goods, and also they used the boats. Okay, regarding the trade and commerce, they traded with almost all the civilizations of their times, okay. And trade and commerce, the Harappans carried on considerable trade in stone, metal, shell, etc. with the Harappan cultural zone. A Harappans వాళ్ళ culture, Harappan cultural zone lo they carried on domestic trade in stone, metal and shell, etc. They might have carried on all the exchanges through the barter system. They knew the use of wheel and carts with solid wheels were in use in Harappa. Okay, Harappans had commercial links with Rajasthan, Afghanistan and Iran. They had commercial links. The Mesopotamian texts speak of two intermediate trading stations. The Mesopotamian civilization text lo they speak of two intermediate trading stations called Dilmun, Dilmun, Dilmun and Makan, Makan, which lay between Mesopotamia and Meluha, the ancient name given to the Indus region. The ancient Mesopotamian text speaks of two intermediate trading stations called Dilmun and Makan, which lay between Mesopotamia and Meluha. So trade was at least partly seaborne, some was through seaborne, is proved by the discovery of an ancient dockyard. It was at least partly seaborne అనేది it is proved by the discovery of the ancient dockyard in Lothal. Dockyard in Lothal. The important port cities in the trade were Lothal, Surkotada and Balakot and Sukta Jendar. Lothal, Surkotada, Balakot and Sukta Jendar. Okay, these four were the important port cities. The inland trade also was carried out by the barter system. The trade links between the Indus Valley and Mesopotamians were well established by the artifacts, because the same artifacts of Indus Valley were found in Mesopotamia also. The Indus Valley seals anedi they were found in Mesopotamia. This is how we understood that there were well established trade between Indus Valley and Mesopotamia. The Indus Valley seals were found in Mesopotamia, and the Mesopotamians called Indus Valley Meluha. Mesopotamians called the Indus Valley Meluha. Greeks called Indus Valley as Sindhu. The place for qualitative cotton. సింధు కాదనుకుంటా, అది సిండాన్ అనుకుంటా. Greeks called Indus Valley as Sindon, Sindon అనుకుంటా. So it is the place for qualitative cotton, మంచి క్వాలిటీ కాటన్ దొరుకుతుందని వాళ్ళ ఉద్దేశం. So what were the imports and exports of the Indus Valley civilization? Imports were they imported gold from Mesopotamia, gold from Mesopotamia, silver from Sumeria, and diamonds from Egypt, and perfumes from Greece, pearls and shells from South India, sandstone like lapis lazuli and agate from Mongolia. So all these they imported, that is gold from Mesopotamia, silver from Sumeria, diamonds from Egypt, pearls and shells from South India, perfumes from Greece, sandstone like lapis lazuli and agate from Mongolia. What were the exports? In the export trade, there are two major items they were exported were food grains and textiles. They had exported food grains ఒకటి and textiles ఒకటి, which they were very much famous in. And some other internal or regional trade or the foreign trade commodities were northwest frontier province, Balochistan and Rajasthanలో ఉన్న K3 మైన్స్లో నుంచి, these three places నుంచి they got copper, and only from Rajasthan K3 mines they got lead also. Northwest frontier province, Balochistan and Rajasthan, they got from K3 mines they got copper. From Karnataka, Kolar and Mysore. In Karnataka, from Kolar and Mysore and Kandahar, and from Jammu and Kashmir, and from Rajasthan in Sirohi they got gold. Jammu and Kashmir, Rajasthan in Sirohi, Rajasthan, leave it. Karnataka and Jammu and Kashmir, Kandahar in Karnataka and Jammu and Kashmir they got gold. From Jammu and Kashmir they got timber also. The trade was in timber, and they were exporting, nina kuda chadukunnam that they were exporting timber to other places and from Jammu and Kashmir. Then in Rajasthan, from in Sirohi, and Punjab, Hazra, Kangra and Jung. Rajasthan and Punjab it was gold washing. Then Afghanistan, Iran and Mesopotamia. From Afghanistan, Iran and Mesopotamia they got silver. From Afghanistan they got silver, tin and copper. Copper and tin rendu mix cheste then it will form bronze. So from Afghanistan, Iran, South India and Mesopotamia they got silver. From Kashmir they got lead. From Jammu they got gold and timber. From Kashmir they got lead. And in from Afghanistan, Badakhshan in Afghanistan and Shortugai in Afghanistan. Badakhshan and Shortugai in Afghanistan they got lapis lazuli. There was a trade in lapis lazuli from Afghanistan. Afghanistanలో ఇంకోటి ఏది సిల్వర్ కూడా ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్. ఫ్రమ్ సెంట్రల్ ఏషియా, Western India, other places they got precious stones. From Central Asia they got turquoise and jade. Central Asia and Turkey, even we got turquoise from Turkey. Central Asia it was turquoise and jade. From Western India it was agate, chalcedony and carnelian stones. In the Neolithics and Chalcolithics lo kuda, even in Western India, in Rajasthan, Gujarat and those places, agate, chalcedony and carnelian stones were very famous. In Gujarat, which is the sea coast, they found they got seashells, and out of that they were making ornaments and jewelry. So in Gujarat sea coast they got seashells. Western India, agate, chalcedony and carnelian, these were some of the traded commodities. The industries ఇందాక చెప్పాం కదా ఎకానమీలో అంటే there are three major components or economy, that is agrarian, industrial and trade and commerce. Agrarian చూసాం. Now we are going to see about industries. What were the industries that were famous in Indus Valley civilization? They were textile industries, because they were producing cotton, involving the cotton and wool from Kashmir and cotton from Mehergar. Textile industries that were involving the cotton and wool, and brick industries because they were using the burnt bricks to make houses. It was such a wonderful aspect. Brick industry, textile industry, and they were very good carpentry industry. Carpenters were there. Carpentry and metal, because our warehouses పైన wooden slabs పెట్టున్నారు అని చెప్పారు కదా. సో textile industry, brick industry, carpentry and metal industry. It was the Bronze Age. Metal industry and shipbuilding industry, because they used it for the foreign trade. They had a dockyard at Lothal. So shipbuilding industry only at Lothal. They had a shipbuilding industry only at Lothal, and bead and shell industry was also found at Lothal, Dholavira and Chanhudaro, because Lothal is a coastal settlement. It was a seaside, so there they found these shell industries. So beads and shell industry was found in Lothal, Dholavira and Chanhudaro. It was found. So textile industry, brick industry, carpentry, metal industry, shipbuilding industry, beads and shell industries were the industries of Indus Valley people. Then trade and commerce. The internal trade was done by bullock carts over the land. External trade over the sea was between the Lothal and the Sumerians, that is Mesopotamians. Lothal and Sumerians. Evidence of the trade was with square and rectangular seals that were found in Mesopotamia, and the seals of the Mesopotamia which were cylindrical in shape, which were found in Indus Valley. Manavi's Indus Valley which is square and rectangular seals which were found in Mesopotamia, and the cylindrical seals of Mesopotamia which were found in Indus Valley. The cuneiform script inscriptions of Mesopotamia, cuneiform script inscriptions of Mesopotamia says, from Meluha, that is Indus Valley, Sindon was being imported. Sindon ante ade cotton. ఇందాక చెప్పాం కదా, గ్రీక్స్ యూస్ టు కాల్ ఇట్ ఇండస్ వ్యాలీ as Sindon because of the mark for the qualitative cotton. So Sindon means cotton. From Meluha, that is Indus Valley, Sindon was being imported. So trade was through barter system. What is the political organization? With regarding to the political system, except Dr. D.D. Kaushambi, majority of the historians believe that Indus Valley cities must have been ruled by rich merchants, and the rich merchants, Indus Valley cities have been ruled by rich merchants, and the form of governance may be defined by as oligarchy. Oligarchy ante a group of people governing a country. The form of governance may be defined as oligarchy. So for Kaushambi, the cities must have been ruled by priests అని చెప్తున్నారు ఆయన. So there were 3 sections, that is elite clan in citadel, okay, a well-to-do middle clan, and a relatively weaker section. So 3 sections of the society ఉన్నాయని చెప్తున్నారు. A elite clan who are in the citadel, a well-to-do middle clan, and a relatively weaker section. D.D. Kaushambi said the priests had ruled the Indus Valley people, and the other people say that it has been ruled by rich merchants, and the governance may be oligarchy. The religion of Indus Valley people. The important goddess was Mother Goddess. Pashupati Mahadeva was only found at Mohenjo-daro, found on a seal inscription. Pashupati was surrounded by various animals with the inscriptions written on it on the seal. So John Marshall termed Pashupati as Lord Shiva. termed Lord Pashupati as Lord Shiva. అక్కడే పశుపతి అనే ఎందుకంటున్నామంటే చుట్టూ యానిమల్స్ ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి పశుపతిని అండ్ జాన్ మార్షల్ said it as Lord Shiva. So lingas were found in Mohenjo-daro. Linga was found in Mohenjo-daro. Yoni was found at Harappa. Linga was found in Mohenjo-daro and Yoni was found at Harappa. And they also worship tree, snake. ఇప్పటికి కూడా ట్రీ అండ్ స్నేక్ని పూజిస్తాం. పిజియన్, ఇప్పటికి బుల్ని పూజిస్తాం. ట్రీ, స్నేక్, పిజియన్, బుల్ వేర్ ఆల్సో వర్షిప్డ్ బై ది ఇండస్ పీపుల్. Amulets were also characteristics of the Indus Valley people, meaning that they were demophobic. And no temples have been found. And swastik symbols were found, and incense sticks untai kada, incense sticks ni burn chese incense burns were found, and birds like dove and pigeon also were sacred to them. So the people of Indus Valley, Sinayasar notes, the people of Indus Valley had a set of beliefs. Okay, they had a set of beliefs rather than a religion. Okay, as such as there was no organized priestly clan. Okay, there was no organized, very very important, they had a set of beliefs rather than a religion, as such as because there was no organized priestly clan, there was no rituals, no ceremonies, and no sacred places, that is no temples were found. So thus it is appropriate to define the Indus religion as a belief system. It is appropriate to define the Indus religion as a belief system. Okay, the outstanding aspect in the belief system was the cult of the Mother Goddess. Outstanding aspect was in the belief system was the cult of the mother goddess. Okay, women were worshipped as the goddess of progeny. Progeny ante who give children or who give descendants and artham progeny. The women were worshipped as the goddess of progeny, fertility and prosperity. Progeny, fertility and prosperity, women were worshipped as goddess of, okay, or these three. The only male god was Pashupati. So in the seal of Pashupati found at Mohenjo-daro, we find Pashupati with three faces. He had three faces and he had two horns. Okay, in a meditating posture, he was sitting in a meditating posture surrounded by animals. That is, those animals were elephant and tiger was present on his right side. Okay, elephant and tiger was on his right side, and rhinoceros and buffalo was present on his left side, and two deers were under the throne. Under the throne, two deers were also present. It is the earliest expression of Lord Shiva. This is the earliest expression of Lord Shiva. The animal worship is the other important aspect. Okay, humped bull was the sacred animal in the city of Gushla. Gushla. In the city of Gushla, we find the practice of worshipping snakes, that is Naga cult. Naga cult in the city of Gushla, we find the practice of worshipping the snakes, that is Naga cult. Humped bull was also worshipped. Okay, then it was mainly nature worship. Nature worship, worshipping the trees and stones, was also part of the belief system. They worship nature worship, worshipping the trees and stones were part of belief system. They also worshipped the secret organs, private, okay, secret organs, that is linga and yoni. Linga was found in Mohenjo-daro, yoni was found in Harappa. Okay, they wore amulets. That is, amulets means they were demophobic to the world of evil effects. Okay, and the fire altars were found at Kalibangan, means the presence of the fire cult. The bull cult, the mother goddess cult of mother goddess, the humped bull cult, the Naga cult and the fire cult. Okay, incense burners also, the fire cult, incense burners were found in Kalibangan. Fire altars were found in Kalibangan, the presence of fire cult. And the most important thing, presence of some structures with the ritual significance. Rituals చేసే ప్లేస్ అనమాట, లైక్ మన కోనేరు లాగా వాళ్ళ గ్రేట్ బాత్. presence of some structures with the ritual significance indicates the existence of collective worship. అందరూ కలిసి ఒకేసారి వర్షిప్ చేసేవారు. It indicates the existence of collective worship. Presence of some structures with ritual significance indicate the existence of the collective worship. That is, great bath in Mohenjo-daro had a great ritual significance. It had great ritual significance, that is, prevalence of the cults of fertility and mother goddess worship. Prevalence of the cults of fertility and mother goddess worship. They worship tree spirits, that is, people tree was worshipped. Tree spirits, people tree was worshipped. On the seals, a famous deity who was identified as the proto Shiva was found. The deity is surrounded by animals like elephant, tiger, and there is sufficient evidence for the prevalence of the phallic worship. There is sufficient evidence for the prevalence of the phallic worship. Numerous stone symbols of female sex organs, that is yoni worship, besides those of phallus, have also been discovered. Phallic worship, stone symbols of female sex organs, that is yoni worship also was found, and fertility cult also was main feature. Fertility cult also was a main feature. Tree cult, the worship of the fire is proved by the discovery of the fire altars at the Lothal, Kalibangan and Harappa. Fire altars were discovery of fire altars at Lothal, Kalibangan and Harappa. So they believed in ghosts and evil forces, and they used amulets as protection against them. Disposal of the dead has been an important religious activity. For them. So dead bodies were generally placed in the north-south direction, and nearby the dead body the ornaments and other objects were also buried. So palaces and kings. A large building found at Mohenjo-daro, and it was labeled as palace by the archaeologists, but there is no proof found regarding it. A large building has been found at Mohenjo-daro. It is labeled as palace by the archaeologists, but no proof has found regarding it. A stone statue was labeled and it was known as the priest king. A stone statue దొరికింది కదా with embroidery dress and all, it is known as priest king because archaeologists were familiar with Mesopotamian history and its priest kings. Because even Mesopotamian they had trade relations and most of their practices were in common, so archaeologists were familiar with the Mesopotamian history and its priest king, so they feel that statue is of priest king. Some gave their opinion that Harappan society had no ruler and everyone enjoyed their equal rights. Others thought that ruler would have been there because Mohenjo-daro, otherwise Mohenjo-daro at least had a separate ruler and Harappan had another, and so on. They had separate rulers. Yet other archaeologists argue that this complete thing is a single state and single ruler because of the similarity in the artifacts. That is same ratio of the bricks, establishment of the settlements near the sources of the raw materials, etc. Establishment of the settlements near the raw materials. Art forms, all the kinds of arts. The Indus Valley people exhibited remarkable skills. At technical perfections in their art forms. Technical perfection undedi in their art forms. The art forms consisted of seals, pottery, terracotta figures, images and their scripts. The Harappan culture belongs to the Bronze Age. The people of Harappa used many tools and implements of stone. But they were well acquainted with the manufacture and use of bronze. They used many tools and implements of stone, but they were well acquainted with the manufacture and use of the bronze. The stone carvings of animals are more rare than those of human beings, but from Mohenjo-daro come two reclining animals, evidently either bulls or rhinos. Usually the stone carvings were mostly of the human beings and the mother goddess. The stone carvings of animals were rare than those of the human beings, but from Mohenjo-daro there come two reclining animals in Mohenjo-daro lo dorikayi. They are evidently bulls and rhinos. The famous bronze female figure from Mohenjo-daro, perhaps representing a dancing girl. The bronze models of the carts and ikkas, ఇందాక చదివాం కదా, కార్ట్స్ ఏమంటారు, ఇక్కాస్ అంటారు. ఫ్రమ్ ద బ్రాంజ్ మోడల్స్ ఆఫ్ కార్ట్స్ అండ్ ఇక్కాస్, IKKAS, ఫ్రమ్ చాన్హుదారో అండ్ హరప్పా. హరప్పాలో ఏం దొరికే బ్రాంజ్ మోడల్స్ ఆఫ్ కార్ట్స్ అండ్ ఇక్కాస్ were found in చాన్హుదారో అండ్ హరప్పా. సో shell inlaying was another important craft. Its important centers being Chanhudaro and Balakot. Shell inlaying, the important centers were Chanhudaro and Balakot, and shell was used for several kinds of beads, bracelets and decorative inlays. Beads lo use చేసేవాళ్ళు, shell bracelets యూస్ చేసేవాళ్ళు, and decorative inlays లో యూస్ చేసేవాళ్ళు shell ని. First, then we read about the seals. The seals are most beautiful of all the Indus Valley art forms. They were most beautiful of Indus Valley art forms. So they are best specimen for the technical skill. And perfection of the Indus Valley art. They are the best specimen for the technical skills and the perfection of the Indus Valley art. So they were made up of statite, a soft rock. A statite was all the seals made up of a statite, a soft rock. Apart from reflecting the technical skills, they served on evidences for the trade and commercial contacts between Indus Valley and Mesopotamia. And mostly seals paina figures undevi, they had unicorns and humped bull. They served as the evidences. Then the reflecting the technical skills, the seals అనేవి technical skills కంటే they served as the evidences for the trade and commercial contacts between the Indus and the Mesopotamian. So every merchant or merchantine family probably had a seal. They had a seal bearing their emblem, bearing an emblem. Often, like ఇప్పుడు రాజులకి their own flags ఉన్నట్టు, or the country having their own flags, every merchant or a merchantine family probably had a seal bearing an emblem, often of a religious character. That emblem was often a religious character and a name or a brief inscription, and it had a an emblem which is of the religious character, and it had a name or a brief inscription on it. Nearly 2500 seals and sealings have been found, and mainly made out of statite, selchadi, Sellchadi, selchadi, and they were made out of pearls, they were made out of ivory, and they were made out of baked clay. They were made up of statite, selchadi, pearl, ivory, and they were made out of baked clay, and the size was up to 1.56 inches. And the shapes were, there were geometrical shapes, that is geometrical shapes, rectangles, squares, cubes, cylindrical and circular. They were mostly white in color seals. Then symbols were circle ఉండేది, and they had swastik symbols, they had cross symbols, and they had people tree. Circle, swastik, cross, and people tree leaves ఉండేవి symbols pine, and symbol of humped bull and unicorns have been found. And they had provision for writing the will, business contracts, and also used for tabij, and they used for amulets, I think. They used seals for writing their will and business contracts, and also that is for, they used it for trade purposes, they used for business purposes writing the bills, and they also used for the amulets. The pottery, now we talk about the pottery of Indus Valley. Pottery, technically called black polished ware, BPW. Pottery, technically called black polished ware. It is most beautiful pottery ever manufactured in the Indian history. Most beautiful pottery ever manufactured in the Indian history. It is characterized by the glossy and shiny qualities with beautiful pictures around the pot. It is characterized by glossy and shiny qualities with beautiful pictures around the pot. The pottery was also black, the pottery was black polished ware, and it was black and red ware, and they were made on the potter's wheel. Evidence of bakins of pottery was found. Evidence of bakins of pottery, simplest form of potteries also were found. And flat ware, it was not elliptical in any case, it was flat ware. So pictography was, human figures were painted on the pottery, and fishes, animals, birds, and geometrical pictographs were painted on the pottery. Now we talk about the clay dolls. The clay dolls called terracotta figures were the other art forms. These dolls were basically for the kids to play. The terracotta figures, the clay dolls, were basically for the kids to play. In most of the dolls we find the concept of mother goddess depicted. Most of the terracotta figures, we find the concept of mother goddess depicted. The Indus Valley people were also excelled in making images. The most beautiful is the image of the dancing doll found at Mohenjo-daro. The image of a bearded priest was also found at Mohenjo-daro. The Indus Valley people invented the art of writing, but the script is not yet deciphered. They invented the art of writing. The script is not alphabetical, but it was mainly pictographic, and it was written in Vostrophodon style on the seals. It is written from right to left, a practice very common to that religion in that later times. In that region, a practice very common to that region in the later times. It is written from right to left. The inscriptions on the seals establish the fact that Harappan people knew the art of writing. More than 400 symbols or letters were used in Harappan script as known today. 400 symbols or letters were used in Harappan scripts as known today. In spite of tall claims made by various scholars from time to time, the script has not been deciphered as yet. The general consensus is that it is written from right to left. Some scholars are of the view that Harappan language was Proto-Sanskrit. The other claim is that it was Proto-Dravidian. The script of Indus Valley is called as pictographic, is the other art form, on as it communicated messages in the form of pictures. It is pictographic as it communicated messages in the form of pictures. Though the script was not deciphered yet so far, it is through light it threw light on the artistic skills evolved by the people of Indus Valley civilization. A fallen signboard was found at Dholavira. Dholaviralo, there was a fallen signboard was present, which was probably representing the name of the place or something, some kind of the name of the place. In front of the place there was a fallen signboard, and it is the largest example of the writing ever discovered, ever discovered from the gypsum. The fallen signboard found at Dholavira is the largest example of the writing ever discovered made from gypsum gypsum parts which are inlaid set into the wooden plank. Wooden plank local gypsum parts are inlaid set into the wooden plank. It is found in Dholavira large signboard. They were acquainted with bronze, which is an alloy of copper and tin. They got copper and from K3 mines in Rajasthan. Also, it could also be brought from Balochistan. Tin they got from Afghanistan. Okay, copper from Balochistan and Rajasthan K3 mines, and tin they got from Afghanistan. Bronze smiths constituted an important group of artisans in the Harappan society. They were very important group of artisans. Who? The bronze smiths in the Harappan society. Weavers, they they wove the cloth of wool and cotton. Weavers were present. They wove the cloth of wool and cotton. And bricklaying was an important craft. Boat making, bead making, seal making, and a terracotta manufacture was also an important crafts. Then pottery wheel was in full use. Goldsmiths, they made jewelry made up of silver and gold, and precious stones were also found. Goldsmiths were found. Bronzesmiths, bricklayers, weavers, and boat makers, bead making, seal making, terracotta making, and pottery making was very much found in Harappa. Yeah, weights also were made in craft production. Generally made beads, bead making, shell cutting, metal working, seal making, and weights and measures. Weight making was done. Materials used for making beads were stones like carnelian, that is red color stone, carnelian. Beads దేంతో చేసేవాళ్ళు? Carnelian stone, jasper, crystal, quartz, and statite. And metals used were copper, bronze, and gold. And shell, faience, and terracotta or burnt clay, all were used for making beads. Shell యూస్ చేసేవాళ్ళు, ఫయాన్స్ ఇందాక చెప్పాము, శాండ్, సిలికాన్ అండ్ గమ్ యూస్ చేసి దెన్ దే యూస్ టు burn them, kill in the kill. So shell, faience, and terracotta or the burnt clay were also terracotta jewelry. ఇప్పుడు కూడా ఉంది, were used for making the beads. Some beads were made of 2 or more stones, and they gave shapes like disc shape, they gave cylindrical shape, and they gave spherical shapes, etc. Disc, cylindrical, and spherical shapes the beads were. Some were decorated with the beads. Even now there are decorating beads. Some beads were decorated with paintings and then designs. Then technique for making beads were statite, that is soft stone. Statite stone was a soft stone. Okay, it was carnelian was a red stone. Statite soft stone powder was used to mold the, then with was used with molded paste, and then they used to get the shapes of the beads. Then strategies for procuring the raw materials. Transportation. The terracotta toy suggests strategies for procuring the raw materials was transportation. The terracotta toy suggests important way of transportation for goods and people across the land routes was the bullock carts. And ships and boats on the sea suggests that river routes were also used for transporting the goods and people. So materials that Harappans got from subcontinent and beyond. Harappans got from Nageshwar and Balakot for shell. Got materials from Balakot and Nageshwar nunchi they got shell. Sorry. They got materials, not shell. They got materials from Nageshwar and Balakot. Then Shortugai, from Shortugai they got lapis lazuli and bluestone. From Shortugai they got lapis lazuli and bluestone. From Lothal they got the carnelian, the redstone. From Lothal they got the carnelian and statite. And metals they got from Rajasthan and Gujarat. Metals they got from Rajasthan and Gujarat. Another strategy for getting raw materials is to send them on expeditions to Khetri region of Rajasthan for copper, and from South India they got gold. So Harappan statite microbeads were found in the Harappan statite microbeads were found in Khetri area, indicates the people of Ganeshwar Jodhpura culture supplied copper to Harappan. సో కేత్రి ఏరియాలో ఉన్న పీపుల్ ఎవరు గణేశ్వర్ అండ్ జోధ్పూరా ఏరియా, జోధ్పూరా కల్చర్, గణేశ్వర్ అండ్ జోధ్పూరా కల్చర్లో ఉన్న పీపుల్ దే సప్లైడ్ కాపర్ టు హరప్పన్స్. హరప్పన్ స్టెటైట్ మైక్రోబిట్స్ were found in Ganeshwar Jodhpura culture. What is Ganeshwar Jodhpura culture? In the Khetri area, archaeologists found a new culture and they called it the Ganeshwar Jodhpura culture. Copper was brought from Oman, that is Arab countries nunchi they got copper. Analysis shown that Omani copper and Harappan copper and also the Mesopotamian sites which had copper had all these Omani copper, Mesopotamian sites copper and Harappan copper artifacts. All the copper artifacts had traces of nickel in them. They had traces of nickel. A large Harappan jar that was coated with black clay has been found at Omani, that is Omani sites. Oman, that is it has been found at Omani sites. And other archaeological finds were Harappan seals, weights, dice and beads. The seals and sealings. Seals and sealings are used for long distance communications. Example, a bag full of goods being sent from one place to other, and its mouth was tied with rope, and on the knot was fixed with wet clay on which one or more seals were pressed, leaving an impression so that the bag could be reached with its sealing without touching. The script was in pictographic in nature. It is written from right to left in the first line and then left to right in the second line. This style is called as Bostrofedor. The number of signs between 375 to 400 signs which are not readable. Most of the lines are short. The longest line had 26 signs shown on the seals, copper jars. These lines were written on seals, copper jars, jewelry and beads. The longest line was with 26 signs తో ఉందన్నమాట. The weights were made up of chart stone, CHART. Weights were made up of chart stone and they were cubical in form. Lower denomination of weights were binary, that is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So 2 power అన్నమాట బైనరీ అంటే 2 power n. So the lower denomination of the weights were binary, but generally these weights were used in jewelry and beads. For weighing the jewelry and beads ఈ weights ని యూజ్ చేసేవాళ్ళు. The weights were in క్యూబ్ ఫామ్లో ఉండేవి, క్యూబ్ లాగా డైస్ ఉన్నాయి, క్యూబ్ ఫామ్లో ఉండేవి. They were made out of chart stone. Higher denomination in decimal system was used for food grains. So lower denomination weights were used for jewelry and beads which are in binary form. The higher denomination లో ఉన్న weights వచ్చి they were in decimal form, అంటే 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 kilo, 2 kilo. The higher denomination weights were in decimal form which were used for weighing the food grains. The metal scale pans also have been found and probably used for measuring the cloth and other materials. Scale pans have been found and they were probably used for measuring the cloth and other materials. Evidence of pottery, seals and weights in Harappa was extraordinary. The brick sites throughout the region from Jammu and Kashmir to Gujarat was same in ratio. We all have been seen the settlements from one place to other for beads and stones. We have also seen the settlements from one place to other. ఎక్కడైతే రా మెటీరియల్స్ బీడ్స్ స్టోన్స్ అవి దొరుకుతున్నాయో అక్కడ సెటిల్మెంట్స్ ఉన్నాయన్నమాట, హరప్పన్ సెటిల్మెంట్స్. సో ద లేబర్ వాజ్ బ్రాట్ ఫర్ మేకింగ్ ద బ్రిక్స్ అండ్ ఫర్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ది మ్యాసివ్ వాల్స్. For making the bricks and for the construction of the walls and platforms, the laborers were brought. So who organized all these activities? Most probably it was the king. So thus the palaces and the kings, in the chadukunam kada, there might have been only one person అని చెప్పి. So what is the end of the civilization? It might have been due to famine, hunger, drought. Such a big video. నాన్న జస్ట్ ఒక ఫ్యూ మినిట్స్ నాన్న అయిపోతుంది ఇంక ఇది. Just as the origin remained controversial, the decline also remained controversial, as there were different views expressed by the historians. The major controversy about the civilization was whether it ended suddenly or gradually. For a long time it was felt that the civilization ended suddenly by 1750 BC. 1750 BC it ended suddenly అనుకున్నారు చాలా మంది. Supporting this, we find that all the Indus Valley sites ended by ఇన్ని sites చదువుకున్నాం, they ended by 1750 BC. And secondly, there was no reference to the word Meluha in the Mesopotamian inscriptions after 1750. First thing, all the sites have ended, Indus Valley sites ended abruptly by 750 BC, and there was no reference of the word Meluha in the Mesopotamian inscriptions after 1750. Supporting this idea that the civilization ended suddenly, for a long time it was felt that the Aryan invasion must have been caused the destruction. Because an Aryan invasion must have caused the destruction అని చాలా మంది అనుకున్నారు for a long time, because the Aryan text Rigveda tells us that Lord Indra had destroyed the Haruppiya, that is Harappa and Mohenjo-daro with his Vajrayudha. Indra was called as Purandara, the destroyer of cities. Purandara, the destroyer of cities. Because of this, in Rig Veda, in 6th mandala, this was present. So it suggests that the destruction of the cities by Indra. So the dead bodies found around the Great Bath also suggests the sudden end. There were dead bodies found around the Great Bath also suggests the sudden end. Then, however, the theory of Aryan invasion causing the destruction was not accepted for the reason that there was a gap of 250 years between the decline of the Indus Valley civilization 1750 BC and the advent of Aryans around 1500 BC. There was a difference of 250 years. So in the other words, Aryans entered India after the decline of Indus Valley civilization. Okay, secondly, no war technology. There was no war technology was found at the Indus Valley site. No war technology. Thirdly, the Indus Valley cities never figured in the route. They were not in the route followed by the Aryans to India. The Indus Valley cities were not in the route followed by the Aryans to India. The another theory suggesting the sudden end of Indus Valley was floods. There were evidences showing that the cities Mohenjo-daro was flooded 7 times and Chanhu-daro was flooded 3 times. Okay, there was evidences. So because of this floods also it might have ended. So but the theory was not valid again, because Indus Valley people had a thorough knowledge of floods. Secondly, there was no chance of great floods causing the destruction to the entire civilization. It was such a large civilization stretched across a large area, and the floods cannot cause the end of the entire civilization. The third theory suggesting the sudden end of Indus Valley civilization was earthquakes, as Indus Valley comes under the earthquake prone zone. However, against the theory, we find the structures of the cities remaining very much intact. Okay, secondly, no chance of the earthquakes causing destruction to the whole civilization at once కదా. ఒక ఎర్త్ క్వేక్ వల్ల కంప్లీట్ సివిలైజేషన్ అనేది డిస్ట్రక్షన్ అయిందని హౌ కెన్ వి సే. ఇన్ ద వ్యూ ఆఫ్ ది అబౌవ్ థియరీస్ అండ్ అబ్జర్వేషన్ ఇట్ వాస్ ప్రూవ్డ్ బియాండ్ డౌట్ దట్ ద సివిలైజేషన్ ఎండెడ్ in course of time gradually. It ended in the course of time gradually. The most accepted theory is regarded was suggested by J.H. Mackley. It was J.H. Macquarie, called the theory of ecological changes. It is called the theory of ecological changes. It says that there was less rainfall from 1800 BC in the Indus Valley zone due to deforestation. First thing, it is theory of ecological changes. ఏం చెప్తున్నారు? J.K. Macquarie, it was less rainfall. J.K. M.E.C.K.E.R. Macquarie. So it was less rainfall from 1800 BC in the Indus Valley zone due to deforestation. వాళ్ళు ఉన్న చెట్లని కొట్టేసి ఫైర్ కిల్స్ కోసం అన్ని బ్రిక్స్ బర్న్ చేయడం కోసం, కాపర్ బ్రాన్స్ స్మెల్టింగ్ కోసం అంతా వుడ్ అంతా వాడేయడం వల్ల డిఫారెస్టేషన్ వల్ల లెస్ రెయిన్ఫాల్ వచ్చింది. సెకండరీ, రివర్స్ లైక్ సరస్వతి దే చేంజ్ దేర్ కోర్స్ causing shortage of water to the cities. The Gagar Hakra river, that is Saraswati, it had changed its course causing the shortage of the water to the cities. And then further the Thar desert అనేది it expanded increasing its salinity in the soil, finally making the land not conducive for cultivation. So the theory ends with saying the Indus Valley cities must have been deserted. The Indus Valley cities must have been deserted rather than destroyed. This is very good. The theory of ecological changes, first one, less rainfall and deforestation, the Saraswati river, a shortage of water, the Thar desert has expanded, salinity in the soil not conducive for cultivation. The Indus Valley cities must have deserted rather than destroyed. The Saraswati region, its shifting of river channels. In Saraswati region, shifting of the river channels along with the Indus floods. In general, decline in the rainfall. Saraswati region lo shifting of the river channels along with Indus lo floods, changing of the course, decline in the rainfall which affects the agriculture and thereby by affecting the economic condition, the trade and commerce, the administration and the political structures and civic amenities, etc. So the tectonic forces and earthquakes అనేది it was evidence from Kalibangan. Tectonic forces and earthquakes were evidence from Kalibangan. The fire వల్ల destroy అయిపోయిందేమో అని evidence from Raki Garhi. Fire వల్ల destroy అయిందని evidence from Raki Garhi. Kalibanganలో tectonic forces and earthquakes. Then malaria, evidence from Mohenjo-daro. Malaria అనేది it was evidence from Mohenjo-daro. Ecological changes due to deforestation, desert expansion, most accepted theory. And Aryan invasion theory means wounded dead bodies found at one place around the Great Bath. So all this. Mortimer Wheeler and Stuart Pigott have attributed the Aryan invasion as the main cause for the decline of Harappan culture. Mortimer Wheeler and Stuart Pigott, Aryan invasion, and M.R. Sahani says that a sudden local uplift of the part of the floodplain of the Indus causing floods was responsible for the decay of the civilization. Who said? M.R. Sahani said it was due to floods. Walter A. Fairservice attributes overutilization of the resources as the main cause of the decline. Walter A. Fairservice. And H.T. Lambrick has recently proposed that the continuous alteration of the course of the Indus above Mohenjo-daro may have driven population from the city and thereby weakened it, making it an easy prey to the barbarians. H.T. Lambrick, he said it was due to the floods of the Indus in Mohenjo-daro. And Robert L. Rakis said it was the tectonic movement including the faults on a large scale near Kalibangan might have destroyed the civilization. Robert L. Rakes. And John Marshall said it was due to earthquake that the whole civilization has ended. The legacy and continuity of Indus Valley civilization. The Indus Valley civilization is regarded as the living civilization. This is what we said. This is the only surviving civilization. The Indus Valley civilization is regarded as the living civilization for its legacy and continuity. For its legacy and continuity, its legacy is felt in our social, economical, and religious spheres. Its legacy is felt in our social, economical, and religious spheres. In social sphere first. In social sphere, matriarchy of Indus Valley society continued for quite a long term, particularly in the South India. The matriarchy of Indus Valley society continued for quite a long time, particularly in the South India. The town planning of the Indus Valley later became a separate batch of study in our present municipal administration. It became a separate batch of study in our present municipal administration. Thirdly, constructing the houses with bricks and usage of drainage system was borrowed from the Indus Valley people. In fact, the Indus house construction became the basis for our Vastu Shastra. Vastu Shastra, it became the Indus house construction became the basis for Vastu Shastra. The staple food of Indus Valley, wheat and barley, is just the same for the North Indians. Their pastimes and the hobbies like dicing, boat racing, and bullfighting are still surviving in the rural areas. So, significantly, their decorative practices like wearing the bangles, wearing different hairstyles, earrings, and just the same for the women in India. In the economic sphere, now this was the social sphere. In economic sphere, the Indus Valley practice of the building ships is just the same as that of the fishing communities. Is the same now in the fishing communities. The building of ships in the coastal areas, the basic unit of their measurements and their multiples had become the basis for Indian rupee. The decimals and the binary system, their basic unit of measurements and their multiples had become the basis for the Indian rupee. By and large, the tradition of tilling the soil remained the same from the Indus Valley times in the Indian agriculture. It remained the same in the Indian agriculture, tilling of the soil. Now, with regarding the system of the governance, political sphere, the type of the municipal administration, the system of the governance, the type of municipal administration that we are following now, we find the Indus Valley city has become the part and parcel of the present administrative system. It has become part and parcel of the present administrative system. The legacy of Indus Valley is more profound in religion and belief system of India. The legacy of Indus Valley is more profound in religion and belief system of India. The concept of mother goddess is still followed in the form of Shakti cult. The concept of mother goddess is still followed in the form of Shakti cult. Pashupati of Indus Valley times had become the Lord Shiva, and the sacred animals, the humped bull, is identified with the Nandi. Worshipping the trees, stones, and decorating the animals are still the living practices in the Indian religion. Decorating the trees, worshipping the trees and stones, and decorating the animals are still the living practices in the Indian religion. The animals they worshipped became the vehicles of our Hindu deities. The animals they worshipped, they became the vehicles of our Hindu deities. That is, swastik became the sacred symbol of Hindus and Buddhists and the Jainas. And the art of making beautiful pottery, images, and the practice of making the clay dolls, pottery, beautiful images, making the practice of clay dolls are survived still from the Indus Valley times. The terracotta jewelry, the unique aspect of Indian history, unity in diversity, was the result of different races coexisted from the Indus Valley times. Similarly, the peace loving and productive and constructive minded Indian outlook, peace loving, and the productive and constructive minded Indian outlook is, after all, the result of the great civilization. It is the result of the great civilization, making it an ever living one.